Mystery or fake news? Reality or legend? Today's story is one of the strangest aviation mysteries ever told. A passenger airliner departed from New York on July 1st, 1955, with 61 people on board. It disappeared completely. No debris, no distress call, no trace. But according to some witnesses, this same plane reappeared 37 years later at an airport in Caracas, Venezuela. Is this true, or one of the greatest hoaxes ever written? Stay with me. I'll walk you through the entire story, the theories, the so-called evidence, and the real lesson behind it. The flight took off normally that morning. It was a Douglas DC-4, one of those classic four-propeller airliners long before modern jet turbines. The destination? Miami, Florida. Expected arrival time, 9:55 a.m. But it never arrived. Not in Miami. Not anywhere. When air traffic control tried reaching the plane, silence. Their radar, empty. A massive search began. Investigators suspected the aircraft had crashed into the Atlantic. But even if it had, something should have surfaced. Wreckage floats, personal items float, oil slicks spread, but nothing ever appeared. Two facts stood out. No mayday call, no debris, not even a single piece. It was as if the plane had been erased from space, time, and sea. And for decades, that was the end of it, an unsolved mystery, until the impossible supposedly happened. Caracas, Venezuela, September 9th, 1992. Air traffic controller Juan de la Corte sits in a quiet tower when suddenly a green dot appears on his radar. A plane, but one that wasn't scheduled. In less than 10 minutes, the mysterious aircraft comes into view, and something is off. In the 90s, nearly all commercial planes used jet turbines. This one? Propellers. The tower makes contact. A shaken pilot responds. "We are Pan Am Flight 914, en route from New York to Miami. Crew of 4, 57 passengers." Juan freezes. That flight number belonged to the aircraft that vanished in 1955. Ground teams rush to the runway as the plane prepares to land. Once on the ground, Juan gathers his courage and asks, "Captain, do you know today's date is September 9th, 1992? The pilot goes silent. Then panic erupts in the cockpit. "Jesus Christ, Jimmy, where are we? No, stay away." The engines roar back to life. Before anyone can react, the plane races down the runway and takes off again. Moments later, it disappears from radar. Again, just like the first time. So what happened? Was the plane trapped in time? Was it a dimensional glitch? Or just a well-crafted myth? Here's where things get interesting. The entire Caracas story came from a tabloid newspaper called Weekly World News, famous for fictional stories like aliens, vampires, and celebrity clones. They had already written about the missing flight years before the supposed reappearance. Later, they published multiple versions, changing details each time, even altering photos of the air traffic controller. No major newspaper ever confirmed the story. No official reports. No passenger interviews. Nothing. The only physical evidence claimed was a 1955 calendar that supposedly dropped from the aircraft. But that was never verified either. In short, there is no proof the plane reappeared. What remains is a fascinating urban legend. So why does a story like this survive? Because humans struggle with non-answers. We hate mysteries. We hate uncertainty. And when facts are missing, we are tempted to fill the gaps with imagination. That's exactly why wild theories grow over time. Not just in aviation stories, but in friendships, workplaces, relationships, and leadership. And here's the real takeaway. Good leaders don't jump to conclusions. They don't build stories to fill their knowledge gaps. They seek facts. They ask questions. They make decisions based on evidence, not assumptions. Whenever you face incomplete information about a project, a conflict, or a business decision, do three things. Dig deeper. Verify every detail. If you must speculate, keep your assumptions realistic and grounded. Because in real life, relying on guesses can cause more damage than the mystery itself. The story of Pan Am Flight 914 may be fiction, but the lesson is real. In uncertainty, discipline beats imagination. Leadership is not about knowing everything. It's about seeking the truth before acting. If you want to sharpen your decision-making skills and lead with confidence, especially when the facts aren't clear, explore more evidence-based leadership strategies. Thanks for watching. And tell me in the comments, do you think the flight could have really jumped through time? Or is it just a brilliantly told legend?